Good evening, Africa, and warm welcome to the assignment program Sunday, the 2nd of October, the year 2022, with me, Innocent. Here you can simply call me IP. We are broadcasting to you live from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka. And of course, this is Movie Television. You can follow the program on our social media page as Movie, and indeed ensure that you always have a Movie TV decoder for you to follow all these programs, which of course comes into your screens on a daily basis. Now, it's been 3 days from the time when the 2023 national budget was presented by Finance Minister Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane, an amount of 167.3 billion kwacha, which is a blueprint on how the UPND intends to spend and also generate the resources for the country in the coming year. And of course, we find out from one of the critical, opposition leader. His name is President Siwale, leader of the New Labour Party. Later on, we shall also encompass other matters to deal with the rule of law and also the corruption fight in the country. President Siwale, welcome to the program. Thank you, IP. Good evening, fellow citizens. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to host you this evening. The last time I remember hosting you, it must be some 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a year. We were discussing the budget. We're still discussing the budget. Last time we spoke. You are right. Yeah. Thank you so much, and I'm grateful to see you. Let me try to be a little bit biased. Each time when I'm hosting the guest, nowadays I've become a little bit biased. I always want to begin with it's acceptable. A personal question. Do you have a Movie TV decoder yourself before I switch off the program? Well, I do not have a Movie TV decoder. Reason being? When you're migrating, I think I did advise your director on how to go about, the decoder issue. But it's not for public domain. Yeah. My question is, why don't you have a Movie TV decoder? I think it will be more opportune that I re-engage him on how the decoder must be distributed. Of course, those are your private issues. Yes, when you with ourselves later on. But my interest is on the marketing side. Do you have a Movie TV decoder? Your answer is not. And my question is, why are you not having a Movie TV decoder? Because you are our #1 stakeholder, a very critical stakeholder at Movie Television. You've contributed to the growth of this institution, and you don't have a Movie decoder. The issue here is that when you are migrating from digital to satellite, do you know that the movie was the first one? Yeah, was the first station to migrate from analog to digital. Okay. Now, how is it that it's not a content carrier, okay, so that all these other small stations, can ride on the platform of Movie TV? Now, it all boils down to policy of government. So policy of government has not encouraged, okay, Movie TV to grow, and hence not many people, okay, have the movie decoder. And because of that, Movie also attempted to put their content on Topstar. Yeah. So when you ask me about Movie decoder, I don't have. Right. But the Topstar decoder, I have. But it pains me that, you see, Movie was first before Topstar. And instead of it being a content carrier, it is now subletting space on the Topstar platform. It's unfortunate. As we move on, President Siwale, you alone, I will not spare you. Believe me. Yes. I will not spare you. Yes. Because you are a pioneer of this institution altogether. You've got that history about Movie Television. So let's make an agreement here. By tomorrow, what time would I send my staff to come and mount the decoders at your home or your office? Well, let them come and mount at home. What time? What time do you open? We are 24/7.
Okay?
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, 8, 9? 8, 9 hours tomorrow?
Right.
You can come and mount the recorder.
Thank you so much.
Right.
I did this deliberate so that the people of Zambia can be our witness. So
Indeed.
we'll be at your
Indeed.
doorstep tomorrow.
And I want that footage to show every Zambian that you came and mounted. So that it's not just rhetoric here.
Indeed, we shall do that.
Right.
Thank you so much, President Fresha Siwale, the leader of the new Labour Party. Now let's find out in terms of how his analysis is, or his opinion is, regarding the 2023 national budget, which has been given to us by the New Dawn government. Remember that this is the second budget that has been presented under the new administration of the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema. Let's begin from there. Just a general response, your general description. How is the budget, the second budget of the UPND so far, before we get into the main segment?
You see, I'm stuck for words. Huh? When you describe something below the standard of budgeting, you know, the budgeting norms, then you describe something which is even beneath contempt, and you call it a budget. I'm stuck for words. Because a budget is a plan.
Exactly.
Okay? It's a plan. Now, it rides on a platform. This budget rides on a platform of yesteryear performance. Are you with me? Then you're saying, this is the platform, this is the foundation that we laid, you know, the previous year. So going forward, in the next 5 years, this is what we envisage achieving, short term. Then you're saying, in the next 25 years, mid-term, which is a generation, then you're saying this is what we intend to achieve. Beyond 25 years, okay, if you are not able to go to 10 generations, because you see, 10 generations, 250 years. So if you're not able to plan to 250 years, you can say beyond 25 years, beyond this generation, this is what we intend to achieve. Now, when you look at the UPND so-called budget, I wouldn't call it a budget.
Why do you call it so-called budget?
Because when you read, you know, that speech, it shows you that the institutions of government are not speaking to each other. Are you with me?
In which way, President Siwale?
For example, what is the input from Bank of Zambia in that budget? Because Bank of Zambia is supposed to give you, outside these inflation, interest rates, you know, figures, they're supposed to give you your export receipts, one component of your resource base. Maybe if I may not lose the viewers.
Sure.
You see, a budget is a percentage of GDP, gross domestic product. GDP is a product of a resource base. It's 10 times the resource base. GDP, the calculation of GDP is related to how banks make money. Are you with me? That being the case, that it is a product of a resource base. This resource base has 3 components. Okay? 3. Export receipts, which is the input from Bank of Zambia. Our annual export receipts. Gross export receipts. That is not reflected in this UPND so-called budget. Local expenditure in the economy, which is a component of the local government system, your income and expenditure patterns. My income and expenditure pattern. You remember during the structure adjustment program, there was that microeconomics. You know, you're talking about microeconomics, and everyone was singing, and eventually it became pensonomics and things like that. You've all forgotten. Are you seeing pensonomics in the so-called UPND budget, nothing. Projected investment for the year. The law provides that, you know the law, town and country planning provides that each and every individual, institution, whether private or public, must present a plan to a local authority if they're going to do any developments, improvements, which we now, after the improvements, then the Rating Act comes now to give the value. You see how these laws are related. Now, when you look at the so-called UPND budget, there's no projected investment reflecting it there, because councils are moribund. So institutions are not speaking to each other. Bank of Zambia is not speaking to Minister of Finance. Local authorities are not speaking to Minister of Finance. Okay? And so where is Minister of Finance getting these figures to arrive at a budget? That is a question that we must begin prodding.
It's quite
They are
strange.
they're just picking up figures. Picking up figures, comparing figures together.
Picking up figures, President Siwale, but it's quite strange if you ask me, because in the last 3 days, we know I've spoken to different stakeholders and also gathering views and reactions. People tell you that I think the UPND budget, most especially this particular one, again, I think it responds. It is actually an exciting kind of a budget.
How can it be exciting?
You know,
No. Okay, look,
because
the quality of the product depends on the quality of the information that you put in there. Okay, if Bank of Zambia is telling us our annual export receipts are in excess of $10 billion, do you know the GDP? The export GDP is of $100 billion. In that budget, they intend to tax the economy about 30%. Okay? So they're supposed to collect over $30 billion. That budget is about $10.5 billion. So where is the $20 billion gone to? Just export GDP. We're not talking about projected investment. We're not talking about local expenditure in the economy. These two aspects of budgeting, they're not reflected in the budget. Then the only thing that we can rely upon from Bank of Zambia is not in there. Because it is telling us we've lost over, or we intend to lose over $20 billion. Yet we're going to borrow $1.3 billion. And you call that the exciting budget. Let us question the numbers. Look, for me, it's not about hyping politics and things like that. No, let's go to the real numbers. What are the numbers saying? What is Bank of Zambia saying? I challenge the bank governor. I challenge him. What are the annual export receipts for Zambia? I challenge him. And what would be the resultant export GDP from those? Because that forms part of the resource base. When I say that, look, for 58 years, and we've killed innocent citizens. We've shortened their lifespans because of just our foolishness. It's not that we're a poor country. Zambia has never been poor. But it's leadership crisis. That is what we're facing. When you look at that so-called budget, I shudder to even think that way. Honestly, we have educated citizens. We've educated citizens. People call them, professional economists. Look at that and say,
let me just update you in terms of what has been, we are now moving segment by segment.
Yes.
Let's talk about the increment in CDF. You remember the first budget we were given?
I've always told you. Yeah, I don't like discussing corruption development fund. Because...
What do you mean there?
Listen to me. There are only 3 grants. established the normal standard all over the world, there are only 3 grants. Okay? Recurrent grant for remuneration of civil servants who are attached to local authorities. Okay? That's grant number 1. Capital grant for maintenance and repair of capital infrastructure, which ordinarily is central government, but operating under local government. 3rd is equalization grant. If Kabwe is developing faster than Chongwe, the difference between Kabwe and Chongwe is what Chongwe is qualified for, and it's broken down in 25 lots, which is 25 years. Remember I talked about the mid-term plan, a generation, 25 years, so that Chongwe catches up with, in 25 years' time, Chongwe catches up with Kabwe. I have not seen anywhere in the world established grant as CDF, where you send money where there is no plan. And you say, we've sent money, now start planning. That's the basis
I thought
of inducing corruption.
I thought plans are being done as we speak right now.
After
Actually, the planning.
Listen to me. How can you?
The planning
Innocent.
was
Innocent.
done
At a personal
before,
level. No.
Yes.
At a personal level. You don't know your salary. You don't even know when it's coming. Can you plan? If Movie TV has not told you what is your salary, can you plan? Okay? Then suddenly, they say, oh, Zangena muchitechi, mu bank. Go and plan. Are you going to plan?
No, but
These are, no, look.
But your example is different.
Listen, no, it's not different.
Very different, actually.
No, listen to me. What happens is that, that's why I always talk about budget reform. I always talk about budget reform. Because once you reform the budget, all those problems of Shangombo, my village in Isoka, in Pemba, all those problems will now be brought into the national basket. Then all these problems we know and we cost them. Once we cost those problems, okay, that's why there's the income and expenditure side of the budget. Okay? The expenditure side must reflect the true cost. Then we look at the income side, so that the income will show us a deficit. Are you with me? Then we're able to segment, because we've already costed the full development cost. Then we can be able to say, what are the short term, mid term, then long term. So then when we come to the income side, we are able to say, okay, short term, these are the things that we're going to pay for. Okay? And we segment them into, say, 5 years. In 5 years' time, this is what we're going to achieve. Okay? Mid-term, in the next 25 years, this is what we're going to achieve. Long-term, in the 250 years, this is what we will achieve. Our biggest problem is that we're still operating at village level. Even when they sit to budget, they still think at village level. They want to create, you see, rhetorically, they want to create a modern economy. Okay? But their minds are still in the village. That is where the problem is. The budgeting at village level is what has caused this country to be stagnant for 60 years.
Now, permit me to just ask my question once again. My question is, I wanted just to update you that the CDF money has
Corruption Development Fund.
That is your definition.
I don't want to look.
That is your personal definition.
No, but that I don't want even to discuss. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Don't discuss CDF with me, because it's not an established grant anywhere. Is it recurrent? If you're able to place it for me, then we can discuss. If it is not able to be placed, then It is not something that I can discuss because it's an emotional decision. It's a political decision, and I don't want to deal with politics when it comes to national economics.
Right, fantastic. I will still insist. You've given your conditions, but I'll also go ahead because my duty
CDF, correctional development,
that I
they are just going to appease their cadres. You see, MMD,
which may not
be comfortable. What is the history? No, what is the history of CDF?
Yeah.
Okay? Frederick Chilwa wanted to appease his cadres. That is the history. And they were sharing this money amongst the MMD cadres. That is the history. And it has continued throughout. Are with me? So I don't want to.
So even the increment for you doesn't matter. It's useless according to your understanding. From 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million kwacha, now to 28.3 million kwacha. All this is useless according to your understanding.
You failed to disburse 25 million. Can you now disburse 28? It is stuck. The money is stuck. And the year is coming to an end. Okay? Mind you, when that money is not disbursed before the end of the current budget, that money must return to the treasury. If they keep it, somebody will go in for abuse of office.
Actually, information was given that that money will not bounce back.
Okay. Wait. Somebody will go to prison. They will have broken the law. You see, let us not... look, when we're discussing national matters, there's no friendship. For me, let me tell you, when it comes, there is no family. Because any mistake in the state, people die. Except they don't report how many people die because of a leader's mistakes. Are with me? So for me, there's no forgiveness when it comes to national issues.
You are insisting that CDF for you are describing it as a
there is no capacity, first and foremost.
As a corruption scheme.
Listen, it started as a corruption scheme. Okay?
How?
Has it changed?
And when?
Because Frederick Chilwa, under MMD, we're trying to please their cadres. Are with me? So, has the principle changed? Has the principle changed? It's the party in power that enjoys...
Is party principles in place, but the question is,
the issue
have you
here,
seen any corruption germinating in the current administration?
Let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
You see, if you are disbursing government money, there are regulations. Standards. Okay? So you must, anything that you are building using government money, it must conform to a certain standard. Have you seen anything that has conformed to the national standard? The national standard is the law. The engineering law. When you see engineering, it's not, right? It's the law of engineering. Are with me? The things that you're doing with this money for 31 years, has anything that has been done with this money conformed to the national law? No. So which means that people have abused, they've abused CDF. It has just been a means for people to corrupt each other. And that's the reason why I don't want to discuss that issue. When New Labour Party forms government, we'll deal with that issue.
When will be that? That will be another argument by the people that
Let's
are watching
first
you.
proceed. Let's first
that
proceed.
Maybe your party is too weak. You know, it's an infant.
All right.
Kind of a product.
All right.
When are you going to win the elections?
Let me tell you one
And yet you don't even contest in terms of these by-elections that are
you are now
going on in the country.
sidestepping. You're now listen to me.
You brought in the issue of forming government, and I'm trying to
we are going.
you.
Listen to me. We are going to form government.
Based on what, President Siwale?
Just wait. Watch the space.
Let's talk about the corruption that you've talked about. You are insisting that the CDF money for you is just a corruption kind of, funds that we allocate to various constituencies. Now, have you seen any signs of corruption in the last 1 year of the UPND in power? And if there are any, justify that to substantiate your area allegations or claims.
In Kalulush, don't we have a forest? Zafiko? Don't we have a treatment plant for pores where Zesco can get? Why are pores coming from South Africa and Zimbabwe? I'm asking you.
You never know. It could be the issues maybe of quality. Maybe we don't have the quality that is needed.
Okay.
For
So
those pores.
now,
Pores.
if you have pores, which you yourselves, Zafiko is a state institution. It's a prostat. Okay? And it's producing substandard pores. And you want high standard pores. What do? Invest in it. Not go and form small companies abroad and start.
Has that happened?
I'm telling you.
And who owns those companies abroad?
Just wait.
What should we
These
wait
are
to hear?
things. Listen to me. Listen.
Allegations.
Listen to this. Listen
Yes.
to this. I know much more. You know, when Fresher Siwale speaks, he knows what he's talking about. UPND has surpassed PF corruption. The things that they were doing, the things that are supposed to be fighting, the corruption that they are supposed to be reversing, the PF corruption they're supposed to be reversing, they've embraced it. Fertilizer distribution throughout the country. Single sourcing. Single sourcing. Let's look at the provision of goods and services even under local authorities. The same rotten arrangements which were under PF. Can't we do something better? Are we not able to read the law? Because you see, most of the things our friends in UPND are doing do not conform to the law. They are using emotions. And these will land in more trouble. I feel sorry for UPND, friends of mine. They will land into more trouble because they've abandoned the law. They're now using emotions. There is no one who has power. There's no one who has power to override the law. Whether it's a bad law, it must be obeyed. Not until it is changed. Before that, when you do not follow that law, you've broken the law. No matter how long it takes, it will catch up with you. You not say, no, later it was changed. There is nothing like I did this in anticipation that the law was going to change. So our brothers, let them get excited with power. They're now excited with power. But Zambians are watching. And the levels of poverty that the UPND has brought upon Zambians, the level of suffering that Zambians are going through, it's unprecedented. Let's look at fuel.
Before we talk about the cost of living and also fuel, I want you further again to justify and itemize the abrogations in terms of the law which we just talked about, because you are saying, you are accusing the UPND that they have abandoned the law, they are now using emotions. Which particular case are you referring to?
Invite me back with the documents. You see, look, let's fight this fight with documents. Are you with me? The issue of simply saying, no, this, that, there, I think let's stop there. I did not come for that. Though I've hinted on it, I did not come for the issue of
Do
carbon.
you realize
invited
that
me.
these questions, I'm just making follow-up questions to you. When you submit, I take note. When you say the UPND have abandoned the law, and then I come in to find out from you, can you substantiate this? It's not that these are new questions coming from me. No, I'm drawing these questions coming from you.
I hear you.
You know, so look, if I ask you, President Siwale, to justify or to substantiate an allegation, you can't tell me that, no, let's come back for the second episode. You have to substantiate.
No, listen to me. The way I've started doing things, and I've always done the same thing. You know, the other time I was here, I had to put a registration card of a dead man. This is a registration card. Are with me? That is my standard. I've set up the standard. Let me come back with a document.
That is exactly. So
I don't want.
Speak, sometimes we've got evidence.
Now listen
and
to me.
It is shocking that this evening all you can do is to just issue blank statements without having a backup or justifying really, or even just itemizing the cases altogether.
Yeah, listen to me.
Yeah.
You invited me here for budget analysis.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I'm saying, I want when I say something, I should be able to say, okay, see this document. This is what is happening on fertilizer, on fuel. Okay? For example, fuel is still landing in this country at less than 6 kwacha. Even if you put back, like I demanded that they put back the taxes, since I saw the statutory instrument that was putting back, reinstating the
And
the
you're
taxes.
happy, I believe so.
But
You're
if
happy.
now I need a breakdown.
First of all, my question is, are you happy that government has responded according to your proposal?
Yes, that the taxes are back.
Thank you.
Now I want the breakdown. How am I paying 23 kwacha? 22 kwacha, what? Okay, almost 23 kwacha per liter of fuel. When it's landing in this country at less than 6 kwacha. I still insist. Yes, what are the taxes? Can you break down? And what is the margin? Because you see, there's no way that 17 kwacha. Break down this 17 kwacha. We are interested in the breakdown of this 17 kwacha per liter of fuel. Break it down to the nation. It's not, look, when you're in government, it doesn't mean it becomes your company, personal company. We are the owners of government. We, the citizens of the Republic of Zambia, constitute the government of the Republic of Zambia. Whoever we send there must be able to be accountable to us. Now that you've left fuel procuring to private companies, give us a breakdown of this 17 kwacha. And also, the time ZRI was not collecting on the fuel, we want to know how you shared the money.
Shared?
Yes, how they shared the money.
Who shared? Who shared the money?
Well, those who were in government, because they must give us a breakdown, because fuel still was landing at less than 6 kwacha. So we, at one point, we were paying 21 kwacha more. Okay? Per liter. It came to 27 kwacha. Remember the fuel? 27 kwacha. So this 21 kwacha, we need a breakdown. For the 10 months, we need a breakdown. That I can assure you, one day heads will roll in this country. Heads will roll. This theft, public theft, must come to an end. It's not enough to simply say, oh, we've restored. No, account for the 10 months. Where did the money go? If ZRA was not collecting, where was the money going? Break down the 21 kwacha, which you collected between December. Perita. We want to know. It is our government. It is my government. It is your government. It is the government of any other citizen who is out there. And the person who comes into government must not take us for a ride. Not even me, when God allows I become president, should not take the people of Zambia for a ride. And steal from them, rob them during the day and night.
Do you appreciate President Siwale, the achievements the numerous achievements which have been achieved by the UPND government
when
in the last 1 year.
When people are sleeping, they're now sleeping more hungry than even when this corrupt PF government was there. Do you know how much hunger is now entrenched in our communities? Do you know how much our youths now are roaming the streets aimlessly? Do you know how many of our children are picking from garbage heaps? The Zambian dream is on a garbage heap. Mind you, when you and I die, who are going to replace us in the population? The same children on the garbage heaps? What sort of Zambia are you preparing for? Is that the Zambian dream that you can be proud of? And you say you've achieved in 1 year, when you've sent more children on the garbage heap. The cost of living is unbearable.
When did you conduct a survey? President Siwale,
every day I interact. Listen to me.
To justify,
listen to
my question.
I interact every day.
Survey to judge or to analyze and also begin to understand that the poverty levels is more higher than under the PF administration. What graph are you using?
No, on a daily basis, I'm dealing with these issues, Innocent. On a daily basis. Every day, I am in these compounds. Are with me? Life has become more difficult in the past 1 year. Life has become unbearable in the past 1 year. You move TV, carry your cameras. Don't depend on what Siwale says. Siwale may lie for political reasons. Are with me? Carry your cameras. Go and ask people. After all, it's ask movie. Go and ask the people.
And we've done that.
Yes.
We've done so.
So, if they said life has improved. No. They said life is better now under UPND.
Look, everybody's admitting that the cost of living is higher. But again, on the other hand, Zambians are appreciating that they are able to conduct or to go up and about with their businesses without anybody harassing them.
You know what you do, Innocent? Maybe when you carry a camera, maybe people may be scared and say good things. You and I, let us walk, the streets of town. Let's go to the compounds. We'll walk. We'll not even be driving. We'll jump on a bus. Let's collect people's views. Life has become unbearable. There's no money out there. Okay? There's no money out there. There are no jobs. 1 year down the line. You're saying the economy is improving. Now, let me give you just a synopsis of what would determine whether your economy is improving. There are 4 parameters. There are 4 parameters to gauge, economic progression or development.
Right.
Okay? It's inflation rate, which is seen about every day. The exchange rate, the interest rate, and the unemployment rate. As they are telling us, these 3 are improving. The net result and effect is that unemployment rate must come down. They have never even in the past 1 year given us the unemployment rate. They don't want to talk about it. Reason? Because it's physical. These 3 you can massage. You sit in an office and massage. For example, when they receive money from these donors, since they've accepted homosexuality, they'll give them money. Then the interest rate will improve. But there's no production.
Who told you that?
Listen to me.
Homosexuality. Who told you?
Well,
because you may end up misleading Zambia.
No, but the issue here is that we are now tolerant to homosexuality. That they have a right. And there's been money sitting in these donor offices, the NGO world and things like that. Okay? How can you account for the improvement of the exchange rate when there's no production in the economy?
So maybe that information.
But I'm asking you.
And how do you account information that you can't say that accepted homosexuality? That is a wrong statement altogether.
No. You cannot speak for them. Don't speak for them.
You cannot.
Don't speak for them. No, even you cannot speak for them.
I will speak for them because
no, then don't allow me to
government has
speak.
issued an official information
Well,
or statement that government.
Well,
the
they've
UPND
become more
government
tolerant.
is
Listen
not
to me.
in
Listen to
support
me.
of homosexual.
Okay, listen to this.
Yeah.
They are playing politics because it's a very sensitive subject. Do you remember that under the PF government? Okay? Immediately PF came into government. What did they do? They invited the then Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to come and address the Zambian parliament. Subject, homosexuality. So, it's official government. Though they want to skate around issues, but they've been collecting, we know people collect money on these homosexual issues, these gatra issues. People are collecting money, okay? There's much money. And let me tell you one thing. The issue here is that the Western world will never be your friends. They have humiliated us. The Western world have humiliated the African for over 400 years. And our naive and foolish leadership in Africa, they go even to humiliate themselves further, kneeling before. People have humiliated us for over 400 years. These are the people who took our ancestors from here as slaves. Before they were sold, they were told to open their buttocks so that they could check their anus. Such humiliation. And you think they can be our friends today? And that they can offer us development? Do you know why China is developing? China is developing because China managed to overcome 105 years of humiliation by the Western world. 105 years. The same Western governments, the US government, the British, the French, were growing opium in Cambodia and Vietnam. Okay? To go and sell into China to raise money for their development back home. They made China a narco state. They humiliated the Chinese. Not until China found leadership. Found leadership that drove them to a point where today China can stand up to the West. Now, what has happened to Africa? We have retained naive and foolish leadership who go to kneel for. We have more money, we have more resources than the Western world. Except, look, if you're losing $20 billion annually, $20 billion, you go and borrow $1.3 billion. Are you in your right frame of mind? Are you fit to be a leader? So first and foremost, let us first identify the African value, the Zambian value. Because when you have identity, then you have a value to offer to the world. Africa does not have. I'll give you an example of the current chairman of AU. Is it Macky Sall of Senegal? He goes to Russia to meet the Russian president to go and beg for food. To go and beg for food. Russia is fighting to get its land back. You take your belly there. Is that leadership? That is Africa. The African Renaissance has failed because we have leaders who front their bellies. We must be able first to identify who we are. Our identity will give us a value. And it's that value that we can offer the world. Right now, there is no leadership in Africa. And that's why we see homosexuality. We can even have a debate of homosexuality in this country. People who think about homosexuality and who think about making homosexuality national policy must know that their thinking is worse than that of a dog. Because a dog knows its gender. A cow knows its gender. Are you with me? Now, if a human being cannot know pull over, nilovepat, pariponsinchilovye, just know you're worse than a dog. Let me be honest with you. If we allow this homosexuality, next time somebody is going to come and say, oh, even bestiality, you can be sleeping with animals. It's your right to choose. To sleep with a dog. To sleep with a cow, with a goat. But that is an African, that is not our value. God created us whole, complete. And he gave us a sound mind. And above on, everything. He gave us the power of the mind. But we're not seeing that power of the mind in the African leadership currently, because they're being offered small. And let me tell you, when you see the Western world come with these programs, homosexuality, bestiality, just know they're not targeting you, innocent. They know you're going to resist, but they'll keep pushing it because you have naive and stupid leadership. They'll keep pushing it towards you because they know your life expectancy is low. They are targeting your child in 25 years' time. They have a 25-year program. That's why when you see their films, their videos, they have now started the education system. They're saying daddy and daddy. You and I grew up knowing daddy and mommy. Right with me? Now they're saying daddy and daddy, mommy and mommy. So they're not targeting you, they're trying to destroy the African dream. They're trying to destroy the Zambian dream. And we must never allow it.
And going forward, moving forward, how can we realize the African dream? How can we be able to return the Zambian dream in order for us to stop these lamentations? Because remember,
we must protect
what you've given, the history that you've given. It goes to show you that as a country, as a continent, we've been on the mourning or crying side for so many years now. What can we do to ensure that we move forward without complaining? You've given an example about China, which was also under colonialism, but they decided to pick up the broken pieces and moved on. Today, China is one of the biggest performing economies in the world. What can we do? What could be the answer?
Second largest,
exactly.
If not the first. Because, see, the American economy is based on, export receipts of the whole world. They've got to pass through the District of Columbia. Are with me? So every day we're recapitalizing the American economy. And which Africa is not addressing. The European Union have addressed that issue. Now, for us to safeguard,
exactly,
we need to safeguard the Zambian child, the African child. We must shield them from trauma, from hunger, from nakedness. Are with me? Because this is our dream. This is our future. This is, our common heritage. It's the Zambian child, it's the African child. Okay? We must be able to provide for them. We must be able to move them from the garbage heap. As government, we're supposed to have, for every child, we're supposed to have a 25-year program. From the time they are born, the same day, the very day they are born, we must have a 25-year program. So that by the age of 25, they are full-fledged professionals, scientists, doctors, lawyers, who have not known trauma, who have not known hunger, who have not known corruption. We must shield them. Our childhood, for us, our generation, our childhood has been so bad. Are with me? That if you and I, if you saw our brother drop a wallet, quickly you look at each other, who is going to step on it? Okay? Now we must produce a citizen, an African citizen, who would turn and say, hey, you've dropped your wallet. Can you pick it up? That confidence about tomorrow. Are with me? You and I don't have confidence about our brothers in government. They don't have confidence about tomorrow. So they tell lies day in, day out. They know nothing. The best that they can do is that, yes, the people gave them the mandate. Consult widely. What is it that we want? Because the people of Zambia did not send them there to bring the debate of homosexuality. The people of Zambia said, resolve the economic problems that we have. The unemployment, the wealth, this poverty, it must go. Okay? The industrialization issues. Okay? But in the 1 year, there's no basis on which we can even gauge the performance of UPND. In these issues.
The jobs you've talked about,
were they?
I can cite an example that UPND has managed to recruit, we're talking about over 30,000 civil servants in the last
It's
1
not,
year.
it's not,
You know,
listen to
job
me.
creation,
Listen,
something
listen.
that we've talked about.
No. Listen
If you
to me.
talk about
Job
industrialization
creation,
again, the government is yet to borrow about $300
$300
billion
million.
that will go towards the, developing the farming blocks. All these issues.
Look,
It's like
listen
all
to me.
what you are submitting is being attended to by the UPND
Between you and me,
Yeah.
who has seen more light? Masiku pali imwe apiri na ine wamenaona masiku ya nyinji ni ndani. The Tumbuka say
you have, of course.
Yeah. Madaz, madads. Huh? Madads. Ojumpa wea wanchewe. These days, days are more than, the what do you call those strands on dog skin? The feathers, is this a feather? You call it feathers or? These days. Now, if you are going to count each on a dog, you find that days are more than those on a dog. Are you with me? That's what the wisdom of Tumbuka. That's what the wisdom I learned from the Tumbuka. Days are more. So, our friends are not showing us direction. What we need is, they're more educated. Oh, they've gone to school. No, not they're more educated. Because they've now shown that they've gone to school, but they're not educated. We expected them to begin to create a modern economy. Are you with me? A modern economy that begins to, create opportunities for Zambians. Are you with me? Most of the people you're saying are teachers. Go and interview those 30,000. Did you want to become a teacher? Your initial planning, was there teaching in your life? Was nursing in your life? They'll tell you no. Was there policing in your life? No. No, so their hearts are not even there. Now it's because opportunities have not been created for Zambians so that they can be able to choose what they want to be in life. Okay. Their portion would be to create opportunities for Zambians to enhance, to have enhanced wealth and prosperity.
But are you happy that the UPND is at least, creating...
When Sean Tembo can be...
Listen
to me. No, they're not creating jobs. The rule of law, they've failed. When Sean Tembo just talks about the menstrual cycle, you lock him up, what charge? What law did he break? You lock him up.
Hate speech.
Hate speech. When he talks about how can it be hate speech? When I talk about homosexuality, is that hate speech? Figurative speech. If we know what figurative speech is. Huh? Satirical writing, comedy. So we know all forms. That's why when you see but
you can't be playing around with words that may offend other people for the sake of you boasting around that. No, because you've been to school, you know what.
Listen to me. Listen.
There are laws in this country.
Which laws? Which laws? First and foremost, as Zambians, let us first state our standard. What is our standard? Are you with me? We cannot, if it was a white man who said those things, they would not have even gone anywhere near. But it's because Sean Tembo with a black skin that to arrest him. Are you with me? Let us not arrest people for the sake of arresting. Let us not be excited with the police. Because the same police who will follow you after you leave office. Okay? So let us set a standard. So that it's not for us. You and I, innocent, we are gone. You see, where I'm coming from, innocent, is very far. I always tell everybody, where I'm coming from is very far. Where I'm going is very near. And that's the reason why maybe people say, I don't compromise. No. For the remaining days of my life, I think I'll deal with the truth. Okay? I need to atone maybe for the wrongs that I did in my past. But for remaining days, I'll live the life of my Lord Jesus Christ. It's a life of sacrifice. It's a life where you speak for others who can speak for themselves. It's a life where you lay down your life for others to see a better Zambia. For me, even where I sleep, it's the Zambian dream. The Zambian dream. How will my tomorrow be like? Even when I'm lying in my grave, I fear my tomorrow. Even when I'm lying in my grave, how will my tomorrow be like? Will I leave Zambia a better place? Will I leave a citizen who has replaced me better than me? That is my only fear every day when I go to sleep. And when I see my colleagues with whom I shared a platform with abuse Zambians, send more Zambians into hunger, send the Zambian dream onto a garbage heap to go and pick a plastic bottle, I cry. It's more painful. It's more painful that the one who is going to replace me in the population when I'm gone will come from a garbage heap and will not resolve Zambia's problems because we will have not equipped him for tomorrow.
I understand, President Siwale, that you were among the political parties that went into the UPND alliance prior to the elections last year. And why are you complaining today?
I'm not complaining.
Why are you so bitter today?
I'm not bitter.
Why are you so angry against President Agende Ichilema?
No, against myself.
Oh, you are hungry?
Against myself, yes.
You are angry or
Yes.
hungry? Which one?
Hunger is not my portion. I eat every day. I don't want to eat fancy foods like you do. Me, derele, beans. My day is done. How with me? But hunger is not anger. A-N-G-E-R. Ire. I-E-R. That is what is filled in me. Because I realize God has made me to see how much this country is worth. Yet, my child, my grandchild, is on the garbage heap. And that child is going to replace me, not equipped to resolve the problems of this country. That is what annoys me on a daily basis.
You
But it is
campaigned for the UPND.
Listen to
You
me.
campaigned for the UPND.
No, I didn't.
But you were in the UPND alliance.
Yes.
Maybe you campaigned for the
No,
UPND.
listen to me. I left the UPND alliance much earlier. And it was on this same platform. I did explain why I left. And if you go back to your footage, the things that happen in government, I warned Zambians of what was coming. But except that Lungu did not give us any choice with the levels of human rights abuses. Cadres running around with stacks of money in boats, car boats, sacks, people were sleeping. They're posting on social media, stacks and stacks of money. Okay? Lungu had reached a point where Zambia became a banana republic. He even stood on a platform and said, I trust my cadres more than the police. That was treason. That was treason. Okay. He overthrew the Zambian state.
Is that so?
Yes. Except our colleagues are too ignorant to understand what Lungu did. Or is it that they are tolerating that because they also want to abuse us the same way Lungu did? They've looked at the other side. Lungu.
Are there such signs?
Yes.
Right.
There are so many examples of abuses that we could have dealt with. But maybe because of that meeting that took place at the late Rupiah Banda's residence, we don't know what happened. Well, that's a private arrangement. Okay? They can be served for 5 years. Because this is a one-term government anyway.
You think so?
This is a one-term government. This. They can't survive. They can't go into another term. The crisis that this country will be plunged into very shortly will be unprecedented. Because at the rate they're going, you see, it's Zambia forward. For them, it's Zambia forward. Anything, Zambia forward. No. Even if it's Zambia forward, take time of reflection. Are you carrying the people with you? In what state are the people? Okay? Before you came to government, when you're in government, and where are you leading them to?
It's like you really want the UPND to fail.
No.
Your closing remarks.
No. Look,
Your closing remarks.
I've always stated that, you see, Hakainde Hichilema still remains the first Republican president of Zambian origin, with the umbilical cord buried in Wengwa. That is the most exciting thing. At least we've broken the dark where people whose umbilical cords were buried abroad were sending into that office. We've broken that dark. Are you with me? Now, the issue at that time the question I'd asked was whether Hakainde Hichilema was going to be a blessing to us or a curse. That is the question I asked. I'm still asking this question today. Will Hakainde Hichilema, 1 year from now, be a blessing to us or be a curse? I end there.
Thank you so much, President Fresha Siwale. We appreciate you for coming.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We end the assignment program with me, Innocent Piru. You can simply call me IP. Up next is the news with Faith Malambo. Thank you so much. Tomorrow there will be a repeat of this particular episode. In case you've just joined us, my guest has been President Fresha Siwale, leader of the New Labour Party. Thank you so much. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.
Mwiza papa wenze mnganda tesipawera muntu pano atamtuma omfunani ati omfunani uku kutiti uku